Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. At least 10 people have been killed after a suicide bomber detonated a bomb at a busy market in Gombe local government area, Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria. Authorities have cordoned off the area. The town had been captured by insurgents in 2014 but was recently recaptured by the Nigerian military. No group or individual has since claimed responsibility for the blast, but all fingers point to Boko Haram. Nnamdi Kanu, the self-proclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, has yet again been denied bail. The embattled leader has been in detention since his arrest in October. The court also denied bail to two other pro-Biafra agitators, Benjamin Madubugu and David Nwanwisi, who are facing trial with Kanu. They are all facing charges of treason. Justice John Soho of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday maintained that the charges against the defendants could attract severe punishment upon conviction. Earlier, Kanu had asked that the lawyer who served as his lead counsel in previous sittings, Emi Udechukwu, step down from his case. He called for another lawyer identified as Chuks Muoma to replace his previous lawyer.
Considering the argument from the appellant and the respondent, refused to grant the applicant bail. The court relied solely or mainly on the issue of national security. Anyway, that is the ruling of the court. We've come a long way. We are in the 4th month of this battle, and I want to still say that I have implicit confidence in the judiciary, because we've had so many others that have been gotten from the courts, and this same Federal High Court. If the court has given its ruling on this basis, we as lawyers has no other thing than to say, okay, we take it in good faith, and then we'll look at the variables to know whether we go upstairs. So the bail application will still have other windows of opportunities to access this bail. However, I want to announce to the 4th estate of the Rim that you have followed us all the way from the magistrate court since October. Well, at the magistrate court, we made tremendous strides. We got several court orders. When we came back to the Federal High Court on the 17th of December, we got unconditional release for our clients. And that is how far we've gone. Today, the court has ruled. And then I want to let the court, let the world know that I, Barrister Vincent Obeta, and my legal team, headed by Udunaruka Udechukwu, withdrew ourselves from this case. We are no longer going to represent the appellants in this case. We have, like I told you, if you go back the memory lane, I told you that what we're interested, or what I've been interested in, is the human right aspect of this matter, which pertains to the fact, to the right of his liberty. And we have pursued it vigorously, and we have made tremendous success. But from now, we are a team of about 10 lawyers led by Udechukwu-san. We are no longer representing the accused persons in this matter.
The Supreme Court in Nigeria has reinstated the chairmanship of Ejike Ogbuegbu as the genuine state chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Anambra State. The court on Friday had also declared the list of candidates submitted by the other faction as illegal. Just last year, a court of appeal in Abuja had set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, which upheld the Ogbuegbu-led executive committee as the true leadership of the PDP in Anambra State. Now the Supreme Court has decided and reaffirmed their positions. Also sacked by the court are Senators Andy Uba and Stella Odua from Nigeria's upper legislative chamber. The court nullified the election of both senators representing their constituencies in the state. They become the 2nd and 3rd Anambra senators to be sacked by the Supreme Court. Uba represented Anambra South Senatorial District, while Odua, a former Minister of Aviation, represented Anambra North Senatorial District. Now, Ahmed Gulak, a former political advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan, has given reasons why he declared himself chairman of the PDP. Speaking in an interview with TV360, Gulak said his actions were constitutional, especially given the court ruling that ordered the acting chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, to vacate from office.
In the first place, if you have followed this issue, Dr. Adamu Maazu, the earthward chairman of our party from the northeast geopolitical zone of this country, resigned his position as the national chairman on the 20th day of May 2015. By our constitution, section 47 subsection 6, a person from the same zone must be appointed by the party. From May 20th till September, Secondus, which is Secondus, have been acting. He is not from the northeast. He is from the south-south, to be precise, River State. Okay, I went there severally to indicate my interest that I want to replace Maazu. They did not take action. I went to court to challenge the continued acting of Uche Secondus, who is not from the northeast. And on the 16th day of December, the court gave judgment that his continued acting as national chairman is null and void, and that within 14 days, they should appoint me or any other person from the northeast. 14 days expired on the 29th day of December 2015. Nobody came up from the northeast. I was the only person that have come up to be appointed. Now, they filed stay of execution of the court judgment. Today, the matter came up, and their motion for stay of execution was struck out, leaving by legal implication that I am now the chairman. That was why, like everybody says, nature opposes vacuum. Okay. And by legal implication, I am the chairman, and I had to assume duty as the national chairman in order to prevent our party being headless.
Nigeria's federal government has gone a step further in improving service delivery in the country. Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, revealed this while hosting a team from the Fiscal Affairs Department of the International Monetary Fund in Abuja on Friday. She commended the visit of the team from IMF.
What we hope to achieve by this meeting is to put forward to the Fiscal Affairs Department of the IMF the programs of the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation in line with improved service delivery in the area of public finance management. We are looking at areas of enterprise document management system. We are looking at improved internal controls mechanism. We're looking at collaboration with them, especially in the area of rolling out our personnel and human resource components of the IPEACE program. So there are so many things we believe we'll be able to achieve from this meeting, and especially areas of capacity development for our senior officers.
We are here at the invitation of the federal government, particularly the Minister of Finance, and we are, the government has taken a number of new initiatives to strengthen public financial management. And we are here to basically review those initiatives. And as Madam highlighted, there are several challenges in the Nigerian context. And in the light of the IMF Fiscal Affairs Department experience in many other countries, so we would be able to provide advice how to address some of these challenges and to recommend next steps to strengthen further public financial management.
Still on the federal government, the National Economic Council has ordered 2 audit firms to conduct forensic audits on 81 government revenue-generating agencies. The approval followed submission of an interim report by the ad hoc committee of NEC chaired by Governor Adams Oshomole of Edo State to review the management of the excess crude account and remittances into the Federation account. One of the agencies to be audited is the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. NEC would take further actions on the agencies after the firms have confirmed the forensic auditing. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived at Addis Ababa, Ethiopia for the 26th summit of the African Union Head of Government and States. Buhari flew in from Nairobi, Kenya, where he paid a 3-day state visit. He was received on Friday at the Addis Ababa International Airport by a senior Ethiopian government delegation led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. President Buhari's engagements will begin with the meeting of the Peace and Security Council of the heads of states and government. The key issues up for discussion at the summit are terrorism and the Burundi crisis. Now, still on the president, he has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to ensuring the cleanup of Ogoniland and other parts of the Niger Delta damaged by crude oil spillage. This was part of the recommendations made by the United Nations Environmental Programs, UNEP. President Buhari said the damage caused by the oil spillage was one of the many reasons why most people in that region lost faith in the government and resorted to crime. He urged the UN to continue to support his government and its effort to clean up the region. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai on Friday inaugurated a judicial commission of inquiry to probe the Shiite army clash which occurred last year in Zaria. The 13-man commission is being chaired by Justice Mohammed Lawal Garba, the presiding justice of the Port Harcourt Division of the Court of Appeal. Speaking at the inauguration, Governor El-Rufai said the inquiry will provide a chance to understand the events that happened on that fateful day. On December 12 and 13, 2015, the Nigerian army and members of the Muslim Shiite sect clashed, leaving dozens dead. The army accused the members of the sect of attempting to assassinate Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Tukur Buratai. The Shia group denies attacking Buratai. The acting chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Anthony Aka, has expressed worry over the fate of the electricity sector as the commission recorded an 187 billion naira deficit. Aka described the industry as fragile, while also attributing the state of the industry to the absence of a credible market realistic price for electricity. The boss disclosed this during a visit to the Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mike Omeri, in Abuja.
The sector as we speak today is in a very fragile state. However, there is so much hope. We are passing through a phase that other countries did. In India, however, New Delhi specifically, they started by pricing the product, electricity as a product. They knew from day one that electricity is a product just like you have bread and needs to be priced rightly. However, regrettably, in our own country, we did not provide market realistic price for electricity. Some saw it as a free commodity that was being provided by the federal government, and therefore over the years, the market was highly not recovering. We have a lot of bills that came to a point that the market came to a point of being insolvent. As of last year, because of certain moves, we had a deficit of 187 billion in the market, in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. And this affected the distribution companies, the generating companies, and the transmission companies from performing or activating their performance agreement that had signed with the federal government. So our multi-year tariff order bearing any other legitimate constraint will take effect on February 1, that's 2015, is predicated on market realistic pricing that would make all the players in the industry abide by their performance agreement. It means that effective February 1, all contracts in the electricity supply industry will be activated. All transactions will be based on contract.
But we also have power and communication facilities that are coming under threats of communities and vandals who deliberately and willfully destroy public and private property. Therefore, the need for us to intensify the campaign and include communities in this fight to ensuring that public assets within their domains are given some protection and attention to. So whatever steps that the government intends to take is not meant to hurt the people, but meant to ensure adequate benefits and are spread all around. There are aspects of the provisions of the Act that needs to be made known to the people, especially this power assistance,
Consumer Assistance Fund.
Consumer Assistance Fund, which is meant to address those, to help those who may not have access to enough resources, but due to certain circumstances, but they have a right to electricity. So we will work on that. We will interpret it to as many people as possible, but the most important thing is to get communities to behave responsibly, switch off and save costs.
We'll take a short break now, but when we come back, we'll look at why President Muhammadu Buhari has refused to devalue the Nigerian currency. Stay tuned.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, make you move along the street. Yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few, I'm forever taking it personal. I will say 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? My brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we train them. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. President Muhammadu Buhari has again dismissed calls for the official devaluation of Naira, saying he was yet to be convinced that the country and its people would derive any tangible benefit from such exercise. He likened further devaluation of Naira to having the currency killed. The president was speaking at a meeting in Kenya where he was on a 3-day state visit. According to the president, while export-driven economies could benefit from devaluation of their currencies, devaluation will only result in further inflation and hardship for the poor and middle classes in Nigeria's import-dependent economy. Now, still on the devaluation of the Naira may be exchanging at an all-time low of about 303 Naira to the dollar on the unofficial parallel market, but the government and the central bank have resisted calls to devalue the currency. The official rate of the Naira is 197 to the dollar. Johnson Chukwu, an investment banker and managing director of Cowrie Asset Management in Lagos, says it's clear that the resolution of the CBN was obviously hinged on the reluctance of President Buhari to devalue the Naira.
The basic principle is that the central bank today is not willing to devalue the currency. So we have to look at why are they not willing to devalue the currency. And there are a couple of factors that come into play. One is, and the most important factor, is that the executive arm of government is still reluctant to accept devaluation as a necessary tool to open up the market. So for that reason, in as much as I wanted or I expected that Monetary Policy Committee would devalue, but I also knew that they were not going to go directly against the position of the president. The basic thing is that the president is against it, and I want to believe that the CBN and the Monetary Policy Committee, the Minister of Finance, and other economic management team, we need to sit down with the president and explain that there is no way we can make this economy competitive if we do not devalue the currency. There's no way we'll bring in foreign direct investments. We cannot bring in portfolio investors, so we can't stabilize the exchange rate if we do not adjust the midpoint of the exchange rate.
Let's take a look at oil prices. Brent crude rose on Friday, moving nearly 8% higher so far this week and set for a second weekly gain. This was spurred by hopes of a deal among oil-producing countries to tackle the supply glut. Brent rose 82 cents to $34.71 a barrel, while U.S. crude climbed 84 cents to $34.06 a barrel. Members of OPEC, such as Nigeria and Venezuela, have called for cuts to strengthen the oil price, which has halved since last May. Rights group Amnesty International says it has found 5 possible mass graves near Burundi's capital, where security forces are accused of killing scores of people in December last year. Amnesty says satellite images show disturbed earth at sites in the Buringa area on the edge of the capital, Bujumbura, that are consistent with witness reports. Violence in the country began last April when President Pierre Nkurunziza announced he would seek a third term in office. At least 439 people have died and 240,000 have fled abroad, this is according to the United Nations. African Union leaders are due to discuss the crisis in Burundi at a summit in Ethiopia. They want Nkurunziza to accept peacekeeping troops to prevent Burundi sliding into an ethnic conflict, but analysts say he's unlikely to agree. Moving on to sports now, sports manufacturing company Nike may currently be reviewing their partnership with the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF. The company gave a hint of their intentions in a letter sent to the NFF asking the federation to furnish them with some facts. Reports say the review may not be unconnected with the ratings of the Super Eagles, the senior national male football team, which is NFF's major selling point. The team's current position in the latest FIFA rankings is 66th in the world and 14th in Africa, their worst position ever. 2015 African Youth Player of the Year Victor Osimhen has agreed to sign for German giants Werder Bremen. The 17-year-old has signed a pre-contract agreement with the Bundesliga side and will formally join the club in 2017 when he turns 18. The deal was contained by the club's sports Klaus Allofs, who praised the quality of the young striker and hailed the deal as a bargain for the club. Osimhen won the Golden Boot award as the top goal scorer of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Chile after scoring a record 10 goals. He also received the award for the second best player in the tournament, behind his captain, Kelechi Nwakali. Moving on to tennis now, world number 3 Andy Murray has advanced to the final of the Australian Open after defeating surprise semi-finalist Milos Raonic in a 5-set thriller. Murray was broken in the first game as Raonic went on to take the first set, but Murray eventually won the sets. The results mean Murray and older sibling Jamie have become the first brothers in the Open era to reach the finals in both the men's singles and men's double events at a Grand Slam. He will now face Novak Djokovic in the final on Sunday. We've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.